What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be doing something I've been wanting to do for a long time. It's to give you my least favorite to the most favorite of all 13 Halloween movies in the whole franchise, including the Rob Zombie, the Mustafa Akkads, the John Carpenter, the Deborah Hills, all of them. And I'm going to give them to you from my least favorite all the way to my most favorite. And what I want you guys to do is judge me, please, because a lot of people have said that my taste in these movies aren't the per usual, where most people like the original Halloween the most out of all of them, and I don't. But I'm going to give you my whole list right now, but I want you guys to put in the comments just the numbers 1 through 13 in your order, so people can judge you. And please judge me. I want to hear your comments. I want to see how nuts I am. So guys, get ready. I'm going to show you each video from worst to best. Now I got all these movies with me right here. They're on Blu-ray. I'm going to start off with my least favorite movie. This is the Halloween 2 Rob Zombie film. This video honestly ruined everything for me for what Rob Zombie did in the first film. This is my least favorite in so many ways because Michael Myers ran, he screamed, he ate dogs, hurt children, completely went away from what happened in all the other previous movies. Even though we know who Rob Zombie is and what he's capable of putting through a movie. We've all seen House of a Thousand Corpses. We've seen The Munsters. We know his mindset and what he likes to do. But this movie kind of took the Michael Myers phenomenon away from him in this movie, which kind of turned me off way more than any other movie, which puts this at dead last at number 13. So Halloween 2 is the worst movie I've ever seen in the whole franchise. Most of you will agree with me on this. The movie might not have been bad, but for the Halloween franchise it was. Halloween Ends, number 12. The worst movie. It should be number 13, but Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 was so bad that this has to be better. But Halloween Ends, you all were very disappointed as well as I was. I would love to get into it with this movie, but I don't feel like dragging this on for hours. This whole thing is going to hopefully last for under 10 minutes. Michael Myers was barely in the movie, and they made him a complete, total old man wimp that couldn't do anything anymore. So, without getting into crazy details, Halloween Ends is number 12 on the list of 13. Coming in at number 11, I know technology was just starting off, and John Carpenter wanted to make it more of a more relevant movie for the younger crowd to get into this. The movie wasn't too bad. It was just really crappy acting. Even though I love Sean Patrick Thomas, the mask was iconic. I love the mask. It's one of my favorite masks. Busta Rhymes did an awesome job. But most of the acting in that movie was so awful. Like the kid Dex, his girlfriend. And there was just a lot of mistakes they kept in the film. I won't get into all these mistakes because this is just it's a ranking of what my favorite movies are, but we'll leave that for another day. But Halloween Resurrection definitely comes at number 11 of 13. Coming in at number 10, I was very excited about this movie because I finally started getting into the Halloween franchise at this time. I would believe I was 14 years old. I was 14 years old when this movie was released. It came out in 1998. I still remember my father coming out. I was sitting out in the street playing with my friends, and he came outside and said, "Hey Frankie, there's a new Halloween coming out. It's called Halloween Water." It's actually Halloween H2O. He didn't know. But this is number 9. Again, it was just too modern, and there's a lot. It was definitely done on a stage. It looked very fake. The whole scenery of the movie just looked like it was on a stage. The buses looked fake, like they just painted them in the back room. The mask. There was parts in the movie where the mask looked like it was digitally put on. And most people know, but there's two types of masks they use in this movie. And it was like for 5 seconds at a time. There was the Halloween H2O Type 2 mask, which is actually on the cover here. Alright, so now we're getting to the point where these are the kind of movies that I do enjoy, and it was very tough to come up with the top 8. Now, picking these, like I said, was very tough. So my number 8 is going to be Halloween 5, and it's just based off of the goofiness. There was actually a goofy part in the movie where the cops were walking up the sidewalk and they were playing goofy music. Not something you want to hear during a horror film. The little girl, her name was Jamie. Yeah, Jamie Lloyd. She went mute, which is fine, but it's just they were trying to incorporate. They were trying to make her into the next Michael Myers, which I hated. I hated a lot, but it's still a good movie. I like the plot. This is from Halloween 4, a continuation, which is one of my favorite ones. We'll get to that in a little bit. But Halloween 5 comes in at your 8th worst horror film in the franchise. Now, number 7 is the first edition of the Rob Zombie. He kept it close to what John Carpenter did, but he just added more layers to his childhood, which was awesome. That's what I liked the most. They showed him how he became nuts and what he went through as a child. Really focused on that and wanted us to know why he was the nutcase that he was. And they picked a perfect kid. That kid was absolutely awesome. He did an amazing job casting him, and pretty much the whole cast was. I love the Rob Zombie crew. He uses the same guys in all the movies, just like Adam Sandler does in all his movies. The whole movie was really good, and from number 1 to number 2, which was my worst one, it's just a complete night and day film. But I highly recommend, if you want to watch any of the Rob Zombies, it's this one. Okay, so most of you guys are going to think that I'm nuts for picking this as my 7th. Most people think this is one of the worst ones that were made. I'm going with my 7th. 7 of 13. The Curse of Michael Myers. Worst acting of all the movies put together. And it's not even close. Paul Rudd was in this movie. Really didn't know who Paul Rudd was back then. He was just getting his career started. He wasn't even that great of an actor in this movie. It was absolutely awful. This was Donald Pleasance's last movie before he died. And they went a little demonic with this film. You can actually see Michael Myers run a little bit. There was a scene in the hospital where he slashed like 15 people. It was just a bloodbath. One of the epic scenes in Halloween history. But there's so many great scenes in this movie, and my children love watching Halloweens. They still haven't seen this one because I told them about how crazy it is and how horrific, and they're still a little nervous to watch this. They'll watch it when they're ready. But this is number 7, even though The Mask is top 3. If you guys go check out my mask rankings and all these movies also, you guys will see how I feel about The Masks. It's one of the most popular videos I've ever released. But yeah, here's number 7. Great movie. Even though the acting was terrible, it's still an amazing movie. A lot of great death scenes. Number 6 is the 2nd edition in the new trilogy, Halloween Kills. There was so many epic scenes. My favorite scene being towards the end, where everyone surrounds Michael Myers and they beat the living shit out of him. And they all think it's all over, and they got him. That man stands up and kills each and every one of them. Just talking about that movie right now makes you want to go watch that scene. It is so awesome. Clearly, most of you have already seen this movie, and you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. I just love all the death scenes in this movie. They're very graphic. By the way, here is number 6, I believe, on my list. The Halloween Kills, number 6. Alright, we're in the top 5 now. And number 5 has Michael Myers in one scene only. We're going with The Season of the Witch, Halloween 3. Probably one of the best movies released in the whole franchise, but Michael Myers wasn't in it. So it loses a lot of points on this list. But the movie is amazing. If you guys haven't watched it, please do. It is actually a really cool movie. It's not too scary. It's more suspenseful than scary. And the acting wasn't too bad. There's a lot of cool parts in there. I don't want to get into it. I think I'm going to do a couple more reviews on how each movie was and get more into details. But Halloween 3 is number 5. And if you watch it, you'll know why. Alright, coming in at number 4 is probably the biggest what is this guy talking about. It's the original 1978 Halloween. Most people hear me say that, they're like, is there something wrong with you? But the truth is no. There's a lot of mistakes in this movie that were kept in. It was a very low budget movie, I get it. But there's very, very little scenes with Michael Myers in it. He's more of a stalker in this movie. We're still learning who Michael Myers is. It's still a great movie. I'm not taking away anything from it. For what the budget, they had a $300,000 budget for this movie, and they hit it. They used very low-priced actors, but it still was such a great movie. Just not what I think of the next 3 videos. So this comes in at number 4, the original 1978 Halloween. Coming in at number 3 is the sequel to Halloween 1. Came out in 1981, Halloween 2. Now this is actually a really scary movie. It's got the really creepy settings in a hospital. That to me is ultimate creepiness. The whole movie is based in the hospital. It starts off with her going to the hospital, her getting into the room, and every single person in the hospital dies one by one. And she knows something's up, and she gets out of bed, and just in time until Michael Myers finally finds her room, he comes in and stabs nothing but a pillow. But that's number 3 on my list of the best Halloweens in the series. People think I'm nuts by saying this, but my second favorite movie in all the Halloweens is Halloween 4. Everything about this movie was amazing. One of my favorite masks. I think it's my number 2 mask, Halloween 4. So plain, so boring, but so creepy. This movie was the first movie I ever watched as a kid, but the whole storyline is perfect for where they came from Halloween 3. They didn't know where to start off because Michael Myers burnt on fire in Halloween 2, which was supposed to end everything. That's why Halloween 3 came out, because there was supposed to be no more Halloweens. But the fan base was demanding something. They wanted more Michael Myers. So this is the best he can do. This is a movie I highly recommend. The storyline's amazing. The acting is about an 8 out of 10. This is number 2. And now, for my all-time favorite Halloween movie. And you guys might already know because I haven't called it yet. But here it is. The 2018 Halloween. Everyone calls me nuts. Everyone. I tell them this is my favorite one. They stare at me like I have 10 heads. I can't get enough of this movie. The killing in this movie is so awesome. When he goes into the house and stabs the lady through her head. Absolutely incredible. I love the viciousness he comes with in this movie. His mask is number 1 in my books. The most coolest mask ever. I just love everything about this movie. It's a 10 out of 10 in my heart and in my eyes. And I know what I'm watching. And I can't even complain one bit about this movie. The music is better than the original Halloween. Everything about the original Halloween they put into this movie, they made it even better. And you can call me nuts. But guys, this is my number 1 movie. And that's my whole 1 through 13. And I would really love for you to comment below how stupid I am or how great of a list it is. And I want to see your list so I can judge them. And I will. I will comment on each and every one of your comments. And I'll tell you how I feel about your list. But as for always, guys, thank you guys for watching. And I will catch you in the next video.